And good morning, everybody, on the start of a week with Morning Coffee with Mark Kaida. And how's everybody doing? So this past weekend, excuse me, trying to get over this cough. Pretty much I was recovering and from this bad cough, but at least I had the pleasure of my son coming down and saying hello. And he's 18. My little boy is 18. I've got three sons, and the middle one's 18 now. And after spending the weekend with him, I reminisced and thought about when he was much younger. And all those times that he was, because when I see my boys, I always see nothing but my babies. I got 21-year-old, I got an 18-year-old, and one's turning 16. I'm like, they will always be my babies. And the hardest part is to try to treat them like adults. I'm like, wow, that's hard because I've always been the dad and they've always been my boys, but now they're young men now, growing. So in a way, I'm like, okay, cool, I can accept that. It is a process of life. But when I started thinking about certain things also, about the wonderment of being young again, we're ending summer, and when you think about summertime's ended. I remember when I was growing up, summers were like lasted forever. They didn't just fly by. Those lazy days of just climbing trees or hanging out with your friends, it lasted forever. When did summers start to become shorter? And it's because I think as we grow older, we start to get responsibilities, and responsibilities take away from the things to do. We have to do things, and before you know it, you're always running out of time because these things have to happen. And when you're doing stuff, time flies. But when you have nothing to do, time lasts forever. And I thought about these feelings of being young again. As we get older, of course, we start to develop, information from our history about the way we live. And when we look at this information, we become guarded. Because when you look at toddlers look at the world always in awe. For them, everything is beautiful. They always tend to see the good. They don't know that there's anything bad because they're not guarded. They don't have these things that you learn. So the wonderment is always there. When do we lose that? When's the last time you looked at something for actually letting it be for what it is, rather than, wait, before you approach it, we look at it cautiously. And when you're careful about things, looking at it cautiously, it takes away the fun. Now, I'm not saying that as we get older, you're supposed to lose all these things we learned from our history, but don't lose these things about the wonderment of being a child. Sometimes when I grew up back home, we actually referred to our elders as, they're going through their, not the golden years, but their second childhood. You're a child, you become an adult, and then when you get older, when you get older, you're going through your second childhood, is a term we used to say. And it's because of their wonderment. I wonder if it's because they've realized that you have to return to being that sense of awe and wonderment of life. Just let life be. Don't judge. Kids don't judge when they're young. They don't have these preconceptions. There's no judgment. There is only the wonderment of it all. The innocence that's never lost. So as we get older, we tend to get jaded by things. We tend to be so cautious about everything else that we forget to just let things be and pick out the good things. Still guarded, but you know what? Let me pick the nice things of being a child again. I'll tell you this much. One of the things that I truly enjoyed, especially when I was taking a knife making course, was approaching it as a child. This time I came in there and I'm like, as an adult, even the instructor was, well, we got to make the best of what we got to do. This is how you make it properly. I'm like, no way. I'm going to take this course. I'm going to make every mistake I can make. I'm just going to let things be. I'm going to let everything happen the way it does and just enjoy that thing, that process. No expectations. I don't want to have the best knife. I just want to make something and tell me what to do. I want to pound. If it cracks, it cracks. And that was so much fun because I approached it when I was like having the fun of being a child again. And it was so much fun. Turned out to be not the best work in the world, but it was the most wonderful and fun work I've ever done before. Doug Mercado here, Cup of Joe. They always say, stay young. Find the good ways to always have that wonderment and always be in awe. And think of the best of everybody that you meet. Lessons we can learn from our childhood and from watching kids again. Take care.